Welcome to a brand new retro game hunt, and this time we are parked in Nottingham at the Retro Game Fair by Retro Events. Massive shout out to them for the invite. I will link their information below, as I do believe they've got more markets in the pipeline ready for all of us retro gamers to get our teeth stuck into. So for now, gamers, I want you to sit back and enjoy, and please watch this video until the end, because I did an absolute bang up job of covering pretty much all of this market. So keep your eyes peeled, guys, and let me know if there's anything you would have purchased. So let's boot off with some Nintendo Entertainment System. Plenty of plushies actually, had my eye on those, but I'm after a really big Pikachu, and I did see one at this market, but when I kind of like picked little Pikachu up, it just felt really tacky and really fake. So if anybody knows where I can get a 2 to 3 foot Pikachu from, please let me know. Please tweet at me or drop me a message on my Facebook group. Now back to the retro game hunt. Amidst this video, you're going to see panoramics like this, because for me, it's important that you guys get an absolute look at what to expect if you're coming to these markets. Now, I always like to take a look at Super Mario Kart because it's my favourite game in the world, of course, and I've noticed a mild price dip. You used to be able to get it for like 45 quid, and now it's dropped to over, I would say the last 4 to 5 years especially, around to 20-25 quid. So that's not too shabby at all. There's actually quite a few games like Shenmue 2 on the original Xbox, that's dropped massively in price, but some games have gone up. I don't know why, I guess it's just the way of the world at times. I was also after a copy of Shattered Memories on PS2. I still need to purchase it. I was very late. Somebody sent me a message with a really good link for like, I think it was £30 for a copy of Shattered Memories on the PlayStation 2, but unfortunately it just kind of slipped my mind. I need to go back to the list and hopefully it will still be there. But I was speaking to one chap about Shattered Memories. I think it was Stephen. Shout out to you, Stephen, one of the amazing organisers of this event, and he said it goes for like £75 plus. So yeah, we'll pass on that one, but I'm really after a copy. I don't want a copy on the way. I want to play it on my PlayStation 2, and I will get it along with my copy of Snatcher. And surprisingly, I didn't see any copies of Snatcher at this event, but there were some really nice stuff. And you've guessed it, guys, if you're familiar with my content, you'll know there is a monumental retro game pickups video coming. That will be live on Wednesday. Got more videos later in the week, so you guys need to stay tuned. Now, this particular Super Nintendo title here, Young Merlin, is a game that keeps cropping up. Never played it, but is it worth it? 20 quid it was priced at. I don't think that was too bad. I don't see it around that often, because I think that copy I'm picking up here is one, it's like the same stall. I didn't see it on many other stalls, but I just kind of passed it by. But let me know if it's worth picking up. Now, Coaster Works is one I'm definitely regretting not picking up. I'm a sucker for a theme park game or a roller coaster tycoon-esque kind of experience. Love my simulation, but I was like 15 quid. I didn't know much about it, so I was kind of questioning myself, is £15 worth it? Maybe I should have picked it up, but as I'm editing this now, I'm like, Gemma, you should have picked it up. Is it available on any other platform, guys, or is it just the Sega Dreamcast? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, this chap here in the Jaws t-shirt, I don't know your name, but you have a phenomenal stall of really cool merchandise, and I've bought some things off him from the Doncaster gaming market. I didn't pick up anything this time. I just kind of think I'd properly spent up by the time I went back around. But he's lovely, and he's going to the Play Expo in Blackpool this weekend. Now, Pagemaster is a classic, and £15 isn't actually that bad. What else did I kind of have a look through here? Sega Megadrive titles, I didn't pick up any. This is a great game, Captain Planet. I think it's like 28 years old now, that cartoon. 28 years old, wow. If that makes you feel old, don't worry, it definitely makes me feel old. Or is it just the nostalgia? Never mind the age, it's just the nostalgia. A little bit of Need for Speed here. And I saw a lot of copies of Shenmue and Shenmue 2. You just kind of caught a glimpse of Shenmue back there. What I'm also after as well, and I'm kind of speaking more to the vendors now, if anybody, vendor-wise, or even you guys as viewers, know where I can get some spare, empty Sega Dreamcast cases, I would really appreciate if you guys could just drop us a message. I've got like weirdly a ton of unboxed Sega Dreamcast games that I purchased in a bundle, probably about 4 years ago, including Shenmue 2 actually. That's why I have all the inlays. The only thing I'm missing is the plastic case itself, and I think that would be nice at these kind of markets, is just to maybe have a bin of replacement cases. So that's maybe just one for the kind of vendors there. But switching over to this stall right here, I'm always scoping these back shelves, rails, whatever you want to call them, because this is where the juicy stuff tends to be. So your copies of Snatcher, if you're going to get it, they're going to be towards the back. I've got D, that's a great game. I have that on the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation. Chill, £6, never even heard of it. But this again, it's not just the big expensive stuff, it's just the small stuff, the £2, the £3, the £4, £5 games that are just gnarly. Absolutely love it. Now, love Sega mags. See all these Nintendo magazines in the middle here? I actually tweeted out and I was like, can you save me some? And they did. They saved me a whole bunch. They gave me a bag full. I bought them all, and all the ones that you saw on the front table there. Now this is Stephen's stall. He is just an awesome guy. Like I said, shout out to Retro Events. Their information will be linked below. Go and check them out. They do a ton of stuff. I am not paid to say this. This is not an ad. This is my personal opinion. He has some really cool Lego figures. I should have totally purchased Link as well. Some really nice refurbished Game Gear, Sega Game Gears, and they had some cool pin badges, some Link, some Triforce rings. I purchased the Triforce ring, which is super cool. And then you'll clock some other stuff there. I have tons of those Super Mario stickers lurking around in the Lady Lounge. I bought a full box a couple of years ago, so super cool, keeping them sealed. Now this is Gold Saucer Games. Massive shout out to Nathan and the boys. These guys have really grown, and this is one of the stalls that I've seen grow and grow for the better over the past couple of years. My finger's in the way there, get out the shot, thank you. Their stock has really improved in quality, really reasonably priced. I've noticed a lot more this time. The GBA stuff, the modded stuff that you guys just saw there, that is new for them. That's something that I've not seen with them before. I did buy a game off these. There's Nathan there. All right, mate, how you doing? Super Nintendo stuff. Got some Pro Protector on the back. Night Trap is another game that I believe has dropped in price a little bit, which I like. It was priced at £35 here, which is a very, very reasonable price. So I was kind of really stoked with that. And again, Mega Drive stuff, I'm kind of not after any Mega Drive games. I like to be impulsive when it comes to my Sega Mega Drive stuff. And what with the release of the Sega Mega Drive Mini recently, I just didn't kind of feel, I wasn't in the mood to purchase any stuff for the Sega Mega Drive. But gamers, there is a Sega Mega Drive Mini video coming on Friday, in which I kind of just talk about my thoughts, feelings, and compare my thoughts and feelings with the other minis. So stay tuned for that, and let's get on with the retro game hunt. So this was pretty local for me, this retro gaming market. It was at the Britannia Hotel in Notts. So it's like a really short drive for me, not too far at all. And I just want to say with that, massive shout out to my fellow East Midlands folk gamers, retro gamers that all said hi. Really nice people like Gamer Dad, Bob, bumped into Scotty, Ben, all subscribers to my channel, Darth Rob on Instagram, people that all kind of made the effort to say hello. And do you know what? I've always got time for you. If you ever do say hi, I'll always stop and have a chat with you. I'm nothing special. And believe it or not, guy, I'm actually quite shy. When people ask for pictures, I get a little bit shy. I don't feel I'm photogenic at all, but we're kind of digressing a little bit. But I will always make time for you. So please say hi, and we can just chat about what you've got. And when I was buying games, a lot of people were like, literally loads of people like, well, I know what's coming on your retro game pickup. So I hope to see you in the retro game pickups video in the comments section below. Shadow Dancer, £30, not too bad of a price in my opinion. Believe I had a copy. I was kind of double checking my memory there actually for a minute when I was filming this part. Like, do I own it? Do I not own it? I also own this Brutal Paws of Fury. I picked up a few Mega CD games, so there we go. There's a little secret as to what I picked up. I picked up 3DO games, Mega CD, Super Nintendo. A fair few Super Nintendo games actually. I picked up 2 new consoles, so it's going to be a rip-roaring game haul that I'm delighted to kind of deliver to you guys on Friday. I'm super excited, and in fact I may have just actually spoilt one of my pickups because I did pick up this Neo Geo X. It did get a bad rap, the X did, it really did. It is a clone console, it's a hybrid console produced by Tomo in conjunction with SNK. A lot of people slated it, and quite rightly so. You know, if you play this thing through the TV rather than handheld with the composite cable, the sound and picture do kind of compromised, but you know, you've got that HDMI capability as well, so I was pretty stoked. Really think I got a good price on it, but again, we'll talk more about that on Wednesday. Now, it's always nice to see some Game Boy stuff, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Original. Loving the modding culture at the minute. Tends to be more popular with handhelds rather than consoles, and there was one particular stall which we'll see later in this video that have a whole heap of modded GBAs, etc. I thought they were like a little bit too pricey. I've seen them go for a lot cheaper, but that's absolutely cool. I think I'm a firm believer that, you know, if you want something really badly when it comes to retro games, no matter what the price, you will buy it. Like, you'll buy it. I've made crazy purchases. I've spent £315 on a Super Nintendo game before. Oh, and shout out to these guys. Love you guys. Super Retro Brothers. On their website, this stall right here, Juicy Gamer, for 10% off anything. I make no money if you use my code. I make no money, but they are linked on my website. I make no money for click-throughs. It is a paid ad spot from them, but it's I make no money on your purchases, but I think it's pretty good. 10% is pretty gnarly. I should use it myself on the website. So yeah, these guys, love it. Always got time for the boys at Super Retro Brothers. Some really nice Super Nintendo games, and again, these are ones to watch. These guys, they've grown over the times that I've seen them at markets. They never fail to amaze me, all the stuff that they have in, and they're wicked. Absolutely hot on their social media. Very in-depth posts, very in-depth websites. I think as a retro gamer and collector, they give me the information that I want. So big shout out to these guys. Go and check them out. Classic NBA Jam. What an absolute classic series. I was streaming on the SNES Mini a couple of weeks ago, and we just did like a myriad of Super Nintendo games, and NBA Jam was one of them, and it was just so freaking cool to play. I used to sink hours and hours into that game, but you know, it's one of the games that I can go back to and it still feels new, even though I've played it a million times, because you're never going to get that same experience twice. You know, different game is a different game, and I didn't own it on the Mega CD, so it's been on my list, and now I finally found it. So these guys, Konya Consoles, another vendor that have loads of PS1 stock, loads of PS2. If you want any game within the PS2 or PS1 genre, you're probably going to find it here. Although still no Shattered Memories, but I did try. I will get it. I will find a decent copy. Again, I need to try that link that one of my viewers sent me. So some good GB stuff at the back and some GBAs you guys can see. Clock in a little bit of OG Xbox, and then we swing down to the plushies, and I'm in the way of the camera again. I should have purchased some of these because I have a really nice sofa in my lady lounge in the game room, and I'm just filling it up, and it's just super comfy to sit on. But I really, like I said, same with my Pikachu, I want big plushies. I want a big Yoshi. I want a big Pikachu. I want a big Mario and Luigi. Not, I don't mind the little ones, but my dog tends to chew them a lot easier. But yeah, it is what it is. So if you know where I can get huge plushies from, give me a shout. So I hope you guys are still enjoying this video. As you guys see, I'm kind of siphoning through some Mega CD bits there. This was probably, like I said before, Mega CD, there's loads of it. This market is probably the best for Mega CD I have been to in a long time. Atari Jaguar saw that. See there? You can see an Atari Jaguar game, Alien vs Predator for 80 quid. I own it. I think 80 quid isn't a bad price for that Jag game. Didn't see many games other than that Jag-wise. Didn't see many Amiga games. Clocking Turtles Tournament Fighter. I don't remember the price on that. What was it? Let's see if I flip it. Flip it, god damn it. I think it was 20, which is, again, not a bad price. This little vendor here looked more like a local seller rather than it be like a kind of storefront sort of thing. It maybe just kind of a few bits clearing out in the collection, but still some really solid stuff here. Panoramic shots are awesome because you guys always spot yourselves at these retro game markets. Have you seen yourself yet? Give me a timestamp in the comment section below. I love it because it's like when I watch these videos on other people's channels, I'm like, sometimes I've seen me and I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. But yeah, you guys kind of really like to do it, and I get asked for it a lot. Can you do more panoramics, please? Because a lot of it is very much kind of close-up stuff because it's what I'm seeing, point of view. But panoramics, yeah, gotta love a good panoramic at a retro gaming market, baby. Whoop! I know who purchased the Morrowind. It wasn't me, it was Rob. Rob, we had a conversation about it, and then I know you tagged me on Instagram. Congratulations on that little pickup. The Elder Scrolls Online, the Elder Scrolls Online collector's editions are really solid. I have a couple myself. I don't have Morrowind, but I just was saying to Rob, I cannot get my head around Morrowind being like a £5 for the base game, but then you're paying so much more for the collector's edition. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. But £45 for the collector's edition of Morrowind, guys, do you think that's worth it? I think it's worth it. I would actually like to buy the Skyrim collector's edition. They're quite obscure to pick up, be it on 360 or PlayStation 3, but if you do see one, I would highly recommend considering buying it because they're getting more and more obscure, the Skyrim collector's editions. I don't know why. And the guides as well. In fact, I barely saw any guides. Usually there's like a stack of old Prima guides at stores, but there was absolutely nothing. And I do think on the whole it is a huge shame that Prima guides went down, because when you go and buy your games now, it's like you just get the game and there's, you know, oh, I wish I could get a guide. It just makes it feel way more complete. So back over at Gold Saucer Games, got a different angle of the Game Boy Colors, OG Game Boys, modded. Again, look stunning. Usually Deadpan Robot are there at the majority of markets. They weren't there this time. They also do a lot of kind of components if you want to mod your own Game Boys, SPs, GBAs, you name it. They've kind of got screens, buttons, shells, pretty much everything you really need. So Clock Tower 3, this was £18. This is another one that I'm regretting not picking up. I think I was so hell-bent on trying to find Silent Hill Shattered Memories on the PlayStation 2 that I just overlooked some titles, and it's never until the edit back that I kind of kick myself, but I'm pretty confident I can just add it onto my list for next time. I've got loads of, like, got Project Zero. That's dropped in price by a few quid. Call me crazy, but that could just be my perception, but I think it's dropped in price by a couple of quid. Now back to a few panoramics. Can you spot yourself? The plushies were selling like hotcakes, by the way, just want to make that clear. Plenty of plushie fans. Now I've got the odds and ends here. Sega Megadrive, what an amazing box art WrestleMania is. Absolutely wicked. Decap Attack there at 20 quid. We've got Gauntlet, Streets of Rage 2. Didn't quite clock the price on that. That's elevated in price a little bit, 25 quid. Shenmue 2, 50 quid. I've seen it go for a lot cheaper, but I have seen it go for a lot more. And I think overall, both Shenmue 1 and 2 over the last 5 years have come down massively. Did you guys also clock that 32X just right there on the right hand side of the screen? And it had a Wavebird controller underneath it. Pretty darn sweet. Mega CD stuff, like I said, plenty of good stuff in here. And in fact, at the end of this video, we go back to this stall because there's a very, very prevalent PlayStation 1 game that somebody mentions was like they wish they could buy it. And I know a lot of people watching this video will probably want to purchase it as well. Somebody's in the way. And then we switched over to the other side of that, literally opposite. Nightmare Creatures, £17 is a good price. I have an old Blockbuster rental copy of Nightmare Creatures, otherwise I probably would have gone in for that. Again, I think this was, correct, well, maybe wrong, but this seemed more like a kind of local seller rather than like a store. There was no name attached to this, it was just somebody that looked like they were just selling stuff. Twisted Metal, £50. PS1, oh, that's kind of top ends. Hogan's Alley, gnarly little NES title. And remember when I said to you guys about the Pikachu earlier? It was on this stall and it was only a tenner and it was the perfect size, but like I said, it felt like it was just full of polystyrene balls rather than the kind of fluffy stuffing that I want. But hey ho, I will just have to keep my eye out for a giant Pikachu. Crazy Taxi 3! What? That's another one I should have picked up. What is going on? I was just, oh man, I tell you what, sometimes it's like stimulation overload, and I, for one, spent 2.5 hours here and I just didn't think it was enough. Could have stayed that little bit longer, but I had to keep making multiple trips back to my car to put stuff back in it and then come back in, get footage, so on and so forth. But again, I just the beauty of these time capsule videos is that it just reminds me what I need to pick up next time. Kind of contemplating Dino Crisis at this stage. 22 quid £30. Like, yeah, no, maybe. This was back at Konya Consoles. And me and the chap that owns it see him all the time. We had a chat, and he seems to think that the Dino Crisis games are going to be remastered, which would be pretty darn sweet, considering they were made by Capcom, that the games were made by the same designers, dev team as Resident Evil, good old Capcom. So yeah, pretty gnarly, and fingers crossed, because I'm loving good HD remake. Let's face it, Link's Awakening of late, they've done a glorious job. Imagine just Dino Crisis, reliving that again. A girl can only dream. So we got some cool artwork here, really well done, really nice to see. Never seen these guys before, but hopefully they'll be at more gaming markets. What are your thoughts on gaming art? Do you buy a lot of it? Do you not bother? I think it's great, you know, especially when the artist is there themselves and you can kind of have a talk to them. They're so passionate, and I just think the effort that they put in to the work that they do is quite remarkable. Now, Dino Crisis was £40 here. I don't know if you clocked it earlier on the Dreamcast, but it was £25 on a different stall. I think £25 is a good price. It's a decent price. It's kind of like in the middle. The prices overall were really good. I tend not to haggle too much, but yeah, you do. 9 times out of 10, people are willing to knock a few quid off. Now, this is the stall again. I don't know the name of the business. Please let me know in the comments. They have some great stuff. It's all backlit, refurbed, very kind of top end on prices, but I think a lot of work went into the modifications, the backlighting. It's really, really cool. Would I have paid £100 for a Super Famicom GBA backlit? No, I wouldn't. But, you know, again, if you want it that much, you're going to buy it. I don't know if you get boxes with them. It would have been nice if they've had boxes, but who knows? Maybe next time I will ask. So a sealed Assassin's Creed 3 Collector's Edition for 40 quid. Mint bargain. That's actually a better shot of Alien v Predator on the Jag right there. Got some cool figures. Again, later on in the video you will see some figures of Ripley and a Xenomorph, which was pretty cool. My favourite films in the world, Aliens being my absolute pinnacle movie of all time. And what about you guys? Like, in the 4 Alien films, the main Alien films, which ones did you like best? Like, rank them in order. For me, it was Aliens, then Alien 3, and then Alien Resurrection just seemed to miss the mark in many areas with its casting and just the script. I mean, they're great actors, don't get me wrong. I just felt like they were far too well known to be in an Alien movie, especially like Winona Ryder. I just can't get my head past Beetlejuice, to be absolutely honest with you. But hey ho, so we're drawing close to the end of the market now, but there's still plenty of stuff to see, so you guys need to just stay until the end. This was a cool stall right in the corner, and I actually forgot that when I bought some stuff at the end, the guy lives really close to me, so shout out to you. I'm not going to give the name of the town, obviously, but shout out to you if you're watching. I've seen you at a couple of markets, Donny as well, and you always hook me up with some good deals. Now, speaking to the new viewers, if you are new here, I would love you guys to join us and hit that subscribe button. I like to do my retro game hunts right. I like to give as much depth as I possibly can. So I'm hoping you guys have all taken value from this, so please leave a like rating. Let's see if we can get this video over 150 likes. I'd like to do a brand new updated tour of the Lady Lounge, or rather my game room, in the upcoming months. So there's plenty to look forward to, but I'm just going to let this video play out, guys, and at the end we'll have the screen of sponsors. So take it easy. I will catch you for a mammoth retro game pickups. My name is Gemma. Take care. See you soon.